Hey there. Hope your Friday is off to a good start, and I hope you are set for a relaxing and happy Labor Day weekend. Hello again. I'm Bernie Miklasz, and this is the Bernie Show on STL Sports Central, presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Please do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The click is right there for you to hit. And please hit the like button on our videos. As always, feel free to comment. As I say, and I mean it, I don't care if you rip me or praise me or just share your perspective in a way that has nothing to do with anything I said. Maybe you want to give your own opinion independent of other opinions. That's great. Go ahead, speak your mind, because we welcome every comment, and every comment is appreciated. So thank you so much. All right. Today's topic is this, and I don't know why I'm talking like this. I'm such a goofball. Anyway, the schedule moves as the schedule moves closer to September, the final month for the Cardinals. I really cannot believe that they are only 3 games under 500 as of Friday morning, with a record of 66 and 69. And no, I'm not being a smartass. I mean, I want you to just listen to this, and I'll explain it. And you know, when I put this thing together, I was just astounded by where you have a team that can be so bad in so many ways, and yet they're not. I would think they'd be 10, 11, 12 games under 500. They're not. Anyway. If you look at this jumbled roster and you look at the team statistical rankings, not only this season, but through recent Cardinals history, and then you pause to remember that this is basically 2025 was like basically set aside as year one of a rebuilding project. And you think about all the problems that have been giving us all a lot of anger, angst, frustration, headaches, whatever. Well, I don't see how this all adds up to sign. That's goofy. And don't get me wrong here. See, I'm anticipating some hollering already. My reason here for this video is not any attempt to defend the Cardinals or any attempt to basically say, oh, look at the boys. Oh, look at that. They're 66 and 69. They should suck even more than they do on the field. No, I'm not. That's not my point, because the Cardinals are who they are. They're a team with a tedious offense, a team that lacks power and speed and athleticism offensively, a team that does not draw enough walks or get on base enough to set up a sufficient number of RBI opportunities. It is a team that does not have the skill set to play a small ball style of game. I've laid that out about 10 times this season, and yet people still keep whining for the Cardinals to play small ball. And the media people who do this should know damn better than that. They don't play small ball very well. So why the heck do people keep screaming that they should? This is a team that has a horrendous starting pitching rotation and no depth behind that rotation, and on and on and on. Plus, add this to the mix. There's a lot of talk about, well, the Cardinals can't hit like high velocity fastballs. Okay, fine. Tell me something I didn't know. But what was left uncovered in this revelation that everyone suddenly had, the Cardinals are losing at both sides of this thing. They're a team that has one of the very worst set of hitters in the majors at hitting high velocity pitches, especially the four-seam fastballs. But they're also a team with a group of pitchers, including the bullpen, that gets smacked around when they throw four-seam fastballs. So when you were lousy at hitting four-seam fastballs that travel 95 plus miles an hour, and the pitching staff can't throw hard enough, often enough to utilize four-seam fastballs like most other teams do to their benefit. Well, what kind of hellish combination is that? We're talking fastballs here, right? We're not talking about anything that's like sophisticated. You know, if you have a pitching staff that can throw hard and make hitters swing and miss and strike them out, or if you have a lineup consisting of you know, a bunch of players, a bunch of hitters that are like, hey man, throw me that fastball, I can't wait. Well, you'd have a hell of a lot better team. You really would. But when you can't even win the fastball battle, you're in serious trouble. I mean, what chance do the Cardinals really have as presently constructed to exceed at a higher level when they can't hit high velo fastballs, or they can't even throw enough high velo fastballs? And I got numbers for you. Don't worry about that. In this day and age, that's a recipe for failure. In this modern game, you are screwed. St. Louis has a team that can't do two of the most basic things in the sport: effectively throw fastballs and effectively hit fastballs. They flunk on both sides of this. Maybe I'm overly worked up about it. You can laugh at me, by the way. That's cool. But this just is preposterous to me. I know the Cardinals have fallen behind, which is why I continue to advocate rebuilding. It's got to be done because they got to change their philosophy. They got to change the way they scout players, draft players. They have to get in sync and understand the way the modern game is working and the way teams are winning in the modern game. The Cardinals are so hopelessly outdated. It's unreal. And, you know, I still laugh at the people, frankly, that just think the answer to this is like, well, you know, DeWitt's got to go sign a couple free agents. No. This is this organization, in terms of philosophy and in terms of modernization and keeping up with the trends and being among the industry leaders in setting those trends, they're rotten to the core. It's like having an old house that's fallen apart, the wood's rotting, you got termites, the roof's about to fall off, you know, and you do little patch jobs. The patch jobs ain't going to do a damn thing except for maybe a day or two. The Cardinals have to get fundamentally down to the root level to change all of this crap, okay? Anyway, so the Cardinals can't effectively throw fastballs that, you know, help them get hitters out, or they can't effectively hit fastballs. A lot of major league teams excel at this. Some are at an advanced level. The Cardinals, well, they're stuck at the elementary school level and they keep flunking tests. They keep operating a baseball team as like it's, you know, 1968 or something. Look, I know this team isn't good, but until I dug into my research, and this is exactly why I do so much research, I didn't realize how truly bad the Cardinals are in terms of being set up for success. They lose the battle of fastballs. They lose the battle of home runs. They lose the battle of stolen bases. They lose the battle of base running. They lose the challenge, the battle of inflating their on-base percentage in a way that will set up more chances to drive in runs. The Cardinals aren't 100% terrible. They play good defense and they still have a solid bullpen even after trading three of their best relievers at the end of July. The defense and the bullpen have limited the extent of the damage, and that's good because, yeah, it should be worse. But the defense and the bullpen have been one thing that kind of stops the bleeding. Not all the time, but most of the time. And the defense and the bullpen have given the Cardinals some extra wins along the way to overcome the impotent offense and a historically awful starting rotation. And when I return for my second segment of the Bernie Show, I'll break it down for you and show you just how poor this team is from a historical perspective standpoint. But first, it's DraftKings time, and I'm happy to talk about it. If you haven't played the DraftKings Pick 6 fantasy game, the daily fantasy game before, There is time for you to jump in for the not only the final month of the baseball season, the regular season, then you're going to roll right into the postseason. And then college football is already underway. I'm so fired up about that. The NFL is about to kick off the regular season. I am fired up about that. And soon the NHL and the NBA will follow, and I'll be fired up about that, especially the NHL. I'm going to be having a lot more fun on DraftKings Pick 6 Daily Fantasy Game. It's an awesome time of the year to be a sports fan, and it's also a fantastic time for you to join the DraftKings Pick 6 family, right? DraftKings Pick 6 makes it easy, simple to get started, so put your sports knowledge to good use and win that cash. You play fantasy sports with your friends, right? Why don't you play fantasy sports with DraftKings? And you're basically competing against yourself. And if you're smart enough and you know what you're doing and you learn enough and you just sort of pick up on how this works, you can make some money for yourself. So just begin by downloading the Pick 6 app from DraftKings, and it's easy to make those selections. Each day, DraftKings sets a stat line for dozens of major league hitters or pitchers for their next game. You just pick more or less of the stat line. You go above it or below it based on what you think is going to happen with that stat line. More or less, higher or lower. So you pick two or more of your favorite players and you're in the game. Winning and success is a few clicks away. Yesterday, I picked Pete Alonso to have more than 1.5 total bases on hits in a game against Miami last night. The big man did it. In fact, he did it with one swing of the bat, hit a 3-run homer, I think it was. But yeah, that's how it works. I'm doing okay. I'm not doing as well on the ones that I give to you as I hope to, right? But I'm still above 50%. And I'm also still learning everything about DraftKings Pick 6. The daily fantasy game. And to me, that's one of the fun things about it. I enjoy the process of like figuring stuff out, getting better and better and better at it. But don't be intimidated because it is easy to play. Pick 6 is available here in Missouri. It's available in Illinois. It's available in a lot of different states around the region, around the country. So there's nothing much to hold you back if you live in a state where it's allowed and all is cool. Don't settle for smaller payouts at other places. You deserve better, so just switch to DraftKings Pick 6 and you'll be at the right place at the right time for winning the cash. Right now, new customers will receive $25 in bonus picks with their first deposit of $5. So just use the code STL Sports to make it happen. That's STL Sports, the code STL Sports for new customers to get $25 in bonus selections with their first deposit of $5. Better payout, bigger wins. Only with Pick 6 from DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
All right. I appreciate your patience. That I was talking a lot there, but just kind of explain my, DraftKings through my perspective as a relatively new player. All right. Welcome back to the second segment of the Bernie Show here on STL Sports Central. And just another friendly reminder, subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that like button. Okay. I promise you a breakdown that shows us just how bad the Cardinals are this season. And I basically included some historical perspective, which I also think adds meaning to it, right? Okay, offensively, this is the entire season. Part of it is the Redbirds right now for the entire season ranked 26 among the 30 teams in slugging percentage. They're 27th in homers. And since late June, they've scored the fewest runs in the majors, and their team on-base percentage ranks 28th at only 301. Their walk rate continues to plummet and ranks 27th over the last 2+ months. Their isolated power number keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. And people have asked me, well, why do you always use June 30th as sort of a arbitrary, starting point? I don't think it's arbitrary. It's just simply this. The Cardinals offense was pretty good up through that sweep at Cleveland. And then after that, they stopped hitting and they've continued to not hit. They just went boom. That's why. And that's their real identity. I mean, the stuff that we thought their problems were, it took them a while to surface, but they have surfaced. So, when you can't hit for power and you can't get on base, well, how the hell are you supposed to score runs, right? Now, let's look at this offense to see where it fits into the 30 seasons of ball since Bill DeWitt Jr. and his associates purchased the Cardinals before the 1996 season. In these last 30 years, this offense this year, if the season ended tomorrow, this offense would rank 26th among the 30 Cardinal teams in batting average, 27th in isolated power, 28th in on-base percentage, 28th in slugging percentage, 28th in OPS. We're talking about a bottom 5 offense among the last 30 seasons of Cardinals baseball. Now, some of the metrics will put them up a little higher. I'm talking about this year's team, but I like metrics, but I'm not like a cult member, where I believe every single thing is the truth and the light. I think some of the metrics are just downright stupid, right? And at some point I'll do a video where I explain that a little bit. Like, for example, I did about a 10-minute study the other day. I'll just give you an example. Everybody always talking about bat speed, bat speed, bat speed, bat speed, bat speed. As if you have bat speed, then, you're set or something. No, look at Jordan Walker. He's got top 1% of all major league hitters in bat speed. Well, how's that working out? And then I looked at some of down the list of bat speed guys, the guys who are ranked low in the rankings for bat speed, and they're putting up great numbers. Again, I like StatCast, but there are too many StatCast crackheads out there, to use a bad metaphor, right? Where they just, all they can do and their eyes glaze over is look at StatCast metrics. And they think that that's the beginning, the middle, and the end of all evaluation of performance, which is stupid because there's a million ways to evaluate performance. Anyway, I had to get that tantrum off my chest. So at best, this is basically a bottom 5 offense among the last 30 Cardinals teams since 1996. All right, what about starting pitching? I'll move this along. I'll stop rambling about other things. What about starting pitching? 2 things on that. 2 things. First, this is the 65th season of Major League Baseball since Major League Baseball went to 162 game schedule back in 1961. We call it the expansion era. So when we lay this season into the last 65 seasons to see where it is, the 2025 Cardinals, in terms of starting pitching, rank 59th out of 65 Cardinals teams with their starting pitching ERA of 4.76. 59th out of 65. That's where their ERA is. In the 30 seasons since DeWitt became the team owner, the Cardinals' rotation ERA for 2025, just among Cardinals teams of the last 30 years, the current ERA in the rotation would rank 26th out of 30. As I wrote in a Redbird review column earlier this week, the 2025 Cardinals, and listen to this one in case you didn't read me. That's why I do videos and columns. The 2025 Cardinals have or had 3 starting pitchers with earned run averages higher than 5 runs per game for only the second time since the expansion era began in 1961. My study was limited to starting pitchers that had worked at least 100 innings as a starter, not a reliever, because there's some guys that have done both. And I took the relief pitching stats out. If a guy made 15, 17 starts, thrown 100 or more innings, I wanted to look at his starting pitching performance and ERA, right? So I didn't want to confuse you with that. And this season, the Cardinals have 3 such starters, ERA over 5, at least 100 innings pitched, Andre Palante, Miles Michaelis, and the since departed Eric Fetty, but they all qualified for the parameters that I just talked about. Now, Michaelis pitched a really good game on Thursday, and he does have a chance to get his ERA under 5 before the end of the season. I think it's at 5.04 now. So we'll see. But I'm just telling you what it is as of now. And as of now, the only other St. Louis Cardinals rotation during the last 65 years that have had 3 guys that have worked at least 100 innings and have an ERA over 5, 3 guys like that, that came in 1995. The 3 starters were Danny Jackson, Ken Hill, and Alan Watson. Remember some of those teams? I tell you what, the 94 rotation wasn't exactly a party either. Just a quick note on this, and as I mentioned, I extracted only the starting pitching innings because this was a look at starting pitching. So you got 1995 and you got this year. 3 starters, at least 100 innings in the same rotation, ERAs above 5. Not good. Not good at all. The lack of strikeout punch is another problem. This season, the 2025 Cardinals ranked 29th overall among 30 teams in starting pitcher strikeout rate, and the bullpen doesn't rank all that good either. When I return for my third and final segment of today's Bernie Show, I'll shine a light on how badly the Cardinals are losing in a couple of the competitions. And I will also look at what their record should be right now based on some underlying factors. But first, to the guys out there, I want to encourage you to try Blue Chew. If you're having some problem in a key part of your life, in a key part of your home, bedroom, Blue Chew can help raise your game for those intimate times with your partner, and the quality of life will be better and better and better. So why not take the chance here? There's no need for you to hesitate. I'm just trying to help. Don't feel awkward. I don't feel awkward talking to you about this because I've been in this situation and Blue Chew helped me. So I'm thinking Blue Chew can help you. And at the very least, you should at least try it. Chew it and do it, guys. If you need a more powerful bat, Blue Chew is in the equipment room, but you got to grab it. And then you can hit some home runs in the bedroom. All this applies to men of all ages, including dudes like me who have crossed the age 60 threshold. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for enhanced performance. You're going to get your first month of Blue Chew free, courtesy of The Bernie Show. You're just a few clicks away. I'll tell you how to do it. You sign up at bluechew.com. You consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you are approved, you'll receive your prescription at your doorstep in a few days. It's all done online. It is simple. It is private. There's no waiting in lines at pharmacy. There's no awkward conversations. Nah, this is easy, man. Try your first month of Blue Chew free when you use the promo code Bernie. That's my name. Just pay $5 shipping. Once more, promo code Bernie to get your first month free. The only cost to you is a $5 shipping fee. Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring The Bernie Show. All right, thank you for sticking around. I really appreciate it. We're back for the third and final segment. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the like button. Thank you again. This season, let's talk about the power pitching and power hitting, or power. The Cardinals are losing at both ends. This season in hitting pitches thrown 95-plus mile an hour, the Cardinals ranked 22nd overall with a .233 batting average and 24th with a .281 slug. But as I mentioned earlier, this performance has gotten a lot worse over time. And since late June, when this offense began to totally fall apart, the Cardinals have a .192 batting average and a .280 slugging percentage against those pitches that sizzle in at 95 miles an hour or higher. Both of those pathetic stats rank 29th among the 30 teams. And you know what? You say, well, what's the big difference, Bernie? The big difference is, the other side has brains, and the pitching coach, the manager, and the pitchers. It's like, well, wait a minute. These dudes can't hit good fastballs. So what are we wasting our time on a lot of these other things? Just go right after them. They can't hit 95-plus fastballs. The stats show that. Anyway, and then on the other side of the arms race, the only 2 major league staffs that have thrown fewer pitches of 95-plus miles an hour than the Cardinals this season. There's only 2 major league staffs that have thrown fewer of those high velo pitches. In other words, the Cardinals aren't capable of doing it. They don't have arms like that. Maybe Sonny Gray, but they just don't have the high velocity capability that most teams do. Only one pitching staff in baseball this year has thrown fewer four-seam fastballs of 95 plus miles an hour than the Cardinals. You see how they're losing out on this? I call it the arms race, right? And even here's the other thing. We see Cardinals pitchers hitting 95 plus miles an hour. We see guys do it, but it doesn't mean that those higher velo pitches are effective or the quality is good, the quality is consistent, because it isn't. For example, this season when Cardinal opponents get a strike thrown, that's important, a strike thrown into the zone at least 95 miles an hour, they've whacked those pitches for a 324 batting average and a 472 slug. And that gets back to the other thing. You can probably muscle up and throw 95, maybe more than you do, but they're not effective pitches. Maybe they lack movement. Maybe they're too straight. I don't know what it is, but they don't get the swing and miss, and they don't get the chase, and they don't get the strikeout. So you can throw 95, but that's no guarantee it's going to be any good. The Cardinals, number one, don't throw 95 often enough. And number two, when they do, it stinks. They're not good at it. Both numbers rank in the bottom 5, and the strikeout rate is next to last. As I mentioned earlier, and I am hung up on this because fastballs are basic stuff. When you're so horrible in the fastball battle on both ends of the game, pitching and hitting, you got a serious problem. What has to change? It's mostly the outlook. It's the philosophy. It's modernizing what you do, not only with your facilities and the number of teachers and technology, but also modernizing the way you approach things up here with your brains. Finally recognizing it ain't 1967 anymore, okay? You got to do things differently to keep up inside the industry. And that's why, again, I am so fired up about Chaim Bloom and his staff coming in here to fix things. And Bloom's starting to make changes already in the minor leagues with some of their instructors. And there's going to be a lot of changes at the major league level in the front office too. The Cardinals got to put more emphasis on drafting and developing pitchers that have more juice as power hitters to drive up the number of swings and misses and strikeouts. You got to be able to have that element in your pitching game, or you are extremely vulnerable. Just take a look at Andre Palante if you need more convincing. The ball is always in play. You can't have too much of that. And the Cardinals have way too much of that. And if you need me, with all due respect, if you need me to explain that to you, you haven't been paying attention, my friends. Now, the other side of this, the front office has got to scout out draftable hitters that are especially good at hitting fastballs. I think Randy Flores is starting to find those guys. And I think teaming up with Chaim Bloom and his people, the Cardinals will get after this because there are guys out there, hitters, young hitters, coming out of high school, coming out of college, whatever. There are guys out there who can hit fastballs and really punish fastballs. And how do I know this? Well, I know it because other teams don't have a problem finding them and developing them, right? All the numbers I provided today reaffirm the obvious. The Cardinals are not only short on talent, but they are way, way behind the times in competing in the current era of power hitting and power pitching and how the game is played. And whether you like the way the game is played, my friends, I'm sorry, 100% irrelevant. This isn't a matter of taste. This is a matter of this is the way the game is now. What the hell do we have to do to compete, to get better, to get back on top? What do we have to do? It doesn't matter if we don't like this style. oh, we wish it was 40 years ago or what. No. 100% irrelevant. This is how the game is played, and what are you going to do to fit in? Where are you going to fit in? How are you going to rise up and up and up and become a preeminent team again? Bloom and his staff, they're going to be all over this endeavor, this overdue, and I am so thankful here it is here, this endeavor to modernize a hopelessly outdated and stupid baseball operation. Based on all of the underlying numbers like run differential and strength of schedule, the Cardinals' record this season should be 63-72. Instead, it is 66-69. Does this mean I'm going to put on party hats and balloons and throw a little celebration? No, of course not. Yeah, it could have been worse. It should have been worse, this record right now. But rather than say, well, they're doing better than they should be, hooray. No, what we can all agree on is this. It's got to be a hell of a lot better than this going forward. And this is exactly why the Cardinals are finally doing the hard work of rebuilding. And that rebuilding begins with modernization mentally, in terms of like the baseball brains, but also everything else that comes with it, the way you scout players, the way you the hiring of instructors and teachers, having the right technology. You can't just say, well, we're rebuilding, and then continue to do the same crap you've been doing that got you into this mess. So the rebuilding begins with modernization mentally and with how you go about your business of identifying talent and teaching that talent and developing that talent. All right, I'm done hollering. That's it for today. I thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, STL Sports Central, for extensive coverage, all the local teams that you care about, including a live post-game streaming show after every game. I'll be back next week. Have a great Labor Day weekend. And thank you to DraftKings for presenting The Bernie Show here on STL Sports Central.